So we have this amazing IKEA top piece, and you can see it's been well used, lots of paint all over it, and we want to bring it back into a kitchen type setting. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to give it a sand down and finish with food safe products. So step one, let's sand off all the paint and stain. We'll be right back. So we just sanded off all the paint and all the stuff that was on the top just to really get down to a nice wood grain. And we've done also a very fine sanding. So the first sand that you want to do is with a heavier grit, maybe an 80 to a 120. Then you want to go up to a finer, smoother grit like a 220, 300, 400. That's going to help close off some of the pores as well, so that it resists things like stains, etc. But we're going to be using this in a kitchen setting. So quite often people are asking, is there a food safe product that I can use on my countertops? The only food safe product I will ever recommend for you is pure pressed hemp seed oil. That's this baby right here. Now this is different than what you'll see in the health food stores because it's actually refined differently so that it is a pure drying oil. So that means the amino acids are removed from it and it will actually fully cure and dry, whereas the ones from the health food store, they actually are filled with amino acids. Really good for ingesting, not good for drying. So you do want to use this particular one. It is made as a wood finish. There are no additives to it. It is simply pure pressed hemp seed. So now I'm going to put a beeswax on top after for additional protection. So I'll put that over here. I cannot tell you how easy this product is to use. Do not be intimidated. You literally can just pour it on. You're gonna let the wood tell you how much it needs. If the wood is dry, it's gonna start soaking it up and it's gonna look dry almost immediately. If it does that, you need more coats. So just let the wood tell you. I mean, it's so natural. I can just use my hands and smush it around. And it's like, you know, going to the spa, little spa for your hands. Now the oil looks green, but it's not going to make your wood green. It's not going to stay green. A little goes a long way. I only used maybe a couple tablespoons there. Pour a little bit more. The reason that I am pouring it on like this is because I really want the wood to saturate with the oil. The more oil that absorbs into the surface, the better protected it's going to be. So you really can't put too much on. It takes about 12 to 18 hours for it to start drying. So you could actually leave this oil on all night, come back the next day, and then remove the excess. But for now, I am just going to, for demo purposes, show you what removing the excess looks like. We're almost done there. What I like about this is you can easily touch it up as you need to. It may be every 6 months, it may be once every couple of years. It depends on how often you are washing your wood with soaps and water. That makes a big difference as to how often you'll need to recoat. But I had a kitchen with a top like this for quite a number of years, and every 6 months I would just take 10 minutes, grab the bottle of oil, wipe it on, wipe it off, and it looks brand new. So again, non-toxic, totally moisturizing, nothing to worry about. I'm gonna take a spare rag and I'm just going to remove the excess. Again, you wanna typically leave this for a little while. Let the wood soak it in and absorb. If your wood is a hard wood, it's not going to absorb very much. If it's a soft wood like a pine, it's really gonna drink it up. Let the wood drink it. It's going to do a much better job the more that the wood can absorb it. If you do not buff off the excess, say after 18 hours, 24 hours, what's gonna happen is anywhere there is excess is it will start to dry and it'll start to go a little bit tacky. So that's why you want to remove the excess. But there you go. It is a beautiful sheen. Now, depending on how old the wood is, the color of it will significantly change. The older your wood, the darker it goes. This is a pretty new wood. We've had it for maybe 4 years. It's an IKEA piece. So it did richen it up and darken it, but it wasn't super drastic. Again, if you've got 100-year-old reclaimed wood, putting hemp oil on it is just gonna make it shine and really bring it to life. So now that that's done, I would want to let that sit for about 24 hours. Add any extra coats if you think it needs it. If it looks really, really dry, you're gonna have to put more coats on, and just let the wood tell you. You can look at it on an angle and you can see any dry patches, but if the oil is just sitting on there and it's not going anywhere, you know the wood is saturated. So our next step for additional protection, you can use the beeswax finish. This is an amazing product. It actually has a blend of food grade beeswax in there, as well as hemp oil. So it's a blend of both of those products. Very simple to use. Now you certainly don't have to add this to it, but if you want to give it even more durability and protection, you can. The only caveat with adding a wax to your countertops is, for one, you have to make sure that it's this particular one. It's a food safe one. This has no solvents in it. It's just hemp oil and beeswax in there, no nasty chemicals. I'm just buffing around in there just to get some on my cloth. But once you wax, you have to continuously wax moving forward. So it's up to you. You may want to just hemp oil and leave it at that step and let it be. But if you want to add a little bit more protection, you can do the wax, and all you do is just buff it on, and it gives it the most beautiful sheen, and it's very, very water resistant. And that's it. It's as simple as that. So if you're thinking of having a little bit more sheen and a little bit more protection, you can always add and buff on this wax. And in 6 months or a year, go ahead and buff on some more, and let the wood tell you as it starts to age and get darker and duller, then you know, why not give it an extra coat with the wax. There we go. Wax takes about 30 days to cure. So within that time, you may have a little bit of sort of excess oils coming up. So just keep that in mind if you put any papers down or anything like that. And that is how you finish a wood surface to be food safe.